that, I give back control to the Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rodano, for the valuable moment. And now, may I call the grammarian, Toastmaster Uday Kumar, to explain your role and introduce the word of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any misuses of English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is subjugate, which means bring under control, especially by conquest. An example of using the word is, good pet owners are unwilling to subjugate their dogs by placing them in cages. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give you a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uday Kumar, for explaining the word of the day. Now it is the time to hear from our president to start the meeting. Could you please help me and put hands together and welcome the club president, Toastmaster Muhammad Ali, to start the meeting.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, once again. Fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, have a very good evening. What comes around goes around. This is one of my favorite saying. I think it's a subject of a song, if I'm not mistaken, as well, that I heard maybe 10 years ago. Every day we encounter new learning experience. All of these experiences leave their mark on our brain. New brain imaging technology enabled researchers to see how rapid the change of a human being brain is. And believe me when I say it is rapid. Your brain today is different than your brain tomorrow. And all of this is because of the experiences you go through. In Toastmasters, we deliver prepared speeches and we take roles. We have mentoring activities. Many other experiences that evolve our brain. Dr. Smedley said, communication leads to discovery of hidden abilities. The person's conception of how to live for use the leadership traits and abilities, and thus helps us to prepare the individual to be a leader. Let's remember why we joined Toastmasters. Most of us, if not all, joined for the first time to have the opportunity to improve their communication skills and leadership skills. Some of us currently are there to mentor others, to give back to the community, to the corporate. And now we reach the time in which learning the communication, the leadership skills improvement, and the learning experience is going to be coupled with enjoyment and competition. Yes, the contests are coming. In 2 weeks' time, we will have our first club contest, evaluation and humorous. It's time for us to remember the oath we made in our induction. And it's time for us to seize the opportunity that repeats itself once every year and compete. It's a celebration. There is no subjugation. It's all free entry to compete and have fun. And talking about celebration, let's celebrate the attendance of many guests tonight. Let me start to look at the guests in the gallery view and start with Lulu Zayani. Lulu Zayani, we are really happy to have you in our meeting today. Let us know a little bit about yourself.
For inviting me for this session. It's my pleasure to meet all of you. So my name is Lulu Zayani. I joined Bobco 1 month ago, exactly 1 month ago. I currently work with the TSB. And yeah, I graduated from University of Birmingham this year with a bachelor degree in chemical engineering. And yeah, I heard about this Toastmaster meeting from my colleague, Fatma Hussein. She encouraged me to join this meeting to improve my communication and my debating skills. And yeah, thank you for inviting me for this session.
It's our pleasure, Lulu, to have you with us. Knowing that you came through Toastmaster Fatma Hussein, I guarantee you are really a talented person that we look forward to have you again and again and again in our club. So please don't feel hesitated to join us again. Young leader Mariam Amran. Can we hear few words from you?
Hello everyone, I'm Amran and I'm 16 years old. I'm a senior and I heard about this from my auntie. I was a young leader last time and I really enjoyed the experience. Thank you.
Welcome, Mariam, to our BTMC normal meetings. We are really happy to have you here with us and looking forward to have another YLP next year, hopefully to see you in person.
Yeah, and regards to your father as well, I think I was working with him when I was in Alba, like 25 years back.
Mohammed Jaber, the floor is yours to introduce yourself.
Yes, so my name is Mohammed Jaber. I'm a fresh graduate with a degree in chemical engineering, and I actually discovered the club through also Fatma Hussein, my colleague, as I just joined the department 1 month ago. And yeah, I'm extremely delighted to join my first meeting.
That's great. That's great, Mohammed. We are really happy to have you with us. I think our VPM has a very tough competitor tonight. Maybe VPM for next XCOM.
Yeah, we would like to thank you, Toastmaster Fatma Hussein. I'm thanking her just so that I make someone jealous.
We have a guest that by the end of the meeting will not be a guest anymore. She is a guest right now, but I think all of us consider her a member of our club. Sheikha, Toastmaster Sheikh. It's the last time to introduce yourself as a guest.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just excuse my voice. That's not a very good Toastmaster voice, but it's okay. It's always a pleasure being part of this meeting and part of this club. I'm happy to be, let's say, back officially, if Toastmaster Khalid Abdallah would say yes. And let's enjoy the night. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sheikha.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Does this mean that next meeting she'll be a Toastmaster, Sheikha, again? The way you
No,
introduced,
Arfan, don't make stories.
the way you
Don't
introduced
make
her,
any
Toastmaster
stories.
Muhammad. Good to see you back, Sheikha. Good to see
Keep
you back.
surprises to the end. Thank you.
Good to
Thank
see
you
you
very
back.
much. Thanks.
Thank you. I think we have no more guests, and it's time for us to move to our next session. Our Master of Ceremonies today is a very eager and enthusiastic Toastmaster. He's a Toastmaster that always step up in any occasions, in any occasion that require someone to take a leadership role. Our Master of Ceremony will tell us a lot about the theme, which is about celebration of a very known festival, Indian festival. Without further ado, let me introduce our Toastmaster of the day, our Masters of Ceremony, Toastmaster Albish Gurjar. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow Toastmasters, dear guest, it's my privilege to welcome again to all of you to this BTMC meeting. For those who are attending this meeting first time or who are seeing me first time, for them I would like to introduce myself. Myself Alpesh, I'm working with BAPCO for last 12 years as a process specialist in a technical service department. And I have been with BAPCO Toastmaster Club for last 3 years. And that's all about me. So in today's meeting, as MC, I will steer this meeting for next 2.5 hours. And I will take care that everything will be on time and will finish on time and we'll have our food on time. So for benefit of guest, let me tell you a brief structure of this meeting. So we'll be having a prepared speech round. So today we have 2 speakers. After that, we'll be having a very exciting session, which is called table topic, wherein you may get opportunity, regardless whether you like it or not, to speak on this screen. Following to that, we'll be having a speech from our Area 14 Director, and then we'll be having evaluation round in which the 2 speakers will be evaluated by evaluator, and lastly, our general evaluator will let us know how we run the show. So this is how meeting has been structured. So before I move in, let's talk about Diwali. So when I came to know about this theme, I was very happy. I never thought that we'll be having such theme in such meeting. Thank you, President, for skipping such themes. And yes, we can pass a good message through such themes. Now, having this theme for today's night, I couldn't resist to change my dressing. This is what we used to wear on this occasion. So, what is Diwali? It's a festival of light which continues for not 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It continues for 5 days. So no one can say that I miss that festival. One or other day you will get opportunity to celebrate it. It is the most popular festival celebrated by millions of people in India. As you know that India consisted of different types of religion, different types of languages. Hundreds of festivals are being celebrated all around different places. But this is one of the common festival and the most popular festival where everyone is waiting for and everyone is taking a best opportunity of this festival to start something.
This is the time where you can blackmail Toastmaster Alfred. You can take his photo now and threaten him for his life.
Yeah.
Is he still there?
Alpesh, you're not here actually. Okay, on your behalf, maybe I will explain about Diwali till you come online. India is a melting pot of multiple cultures. And Diwali is a festival of light. So it marks the triumph of truth over the evils. So victory of the goodness over the evils, we will say. And they get up early in the morning, take an oil bath, and then firecrackers, distribute sweets, visit elders, get their best wishes, and of course, everyone wears a new dress. Even the poor man, they'll try to buy some new dress, at least a part of a shirt alone or something like that, and they will wear it on that day. So, because of a lot of purchases, all the businesses also flourish. So, it also resembles prosperity. So, prosperity, I mean, businesses flourish because of this. So, it is prosperity, it can be said. Now, again, Alpesh, is he there?
Thank you, Toastmaster Gobi, for your leadership, actually, to take the role of a backup MC to explain the theme of this night. That's great to hear. Really appreciate it. And really looking forward to have you delivering speeches. It seems you will be selected today by our topics master. This is how it feels right now.
I can continue on Diwali, maybe for some more time also, but I don't want to take up like that the meeting. So I'm just leaving the floor to you.
That's a great initiative, Toastmaster Gobi. Nevertheless, as we are still waiting for Toastmaster Albish to join, let's fill the role of Master of Ceremonies and progress in our today. I need just to open the agenda in my mobile. All right. A Master of Ceremonies, for the sake of guests, the captain of the ship, is the person who makes sure we go through the agenda within time. And to do this, he has 3 helpers, 3 controllers. The first helper is the timer. And for today, our timer is none other than Toastmaster Fatma Hussein. Toastmaster Fatma Hussein, please introduce.
Thank you very much. Our backup Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Muhammad Ali Yusuf. For the benefit of the guests, the role of the timer is to keep track of time. In Toastmasters and in real life, time is very important. We need to be able to have that skill of being able to deliver our message within the time span that we have available. So as the timer, this will be my job. My job will be to time each and every person who speaks in prepared speeches, evaluation speeches, and table topics, and let them know of how much time they have left. For the prepared speeches, we have 2 speeches for tonight. The first one will go from 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll put on the green card. At 6 minutes, the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, the red card. After that, the speaker has 30 seconds to finish their speech. For the evaluation speeches, you have 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, you'll see the green light, the green card. At 2.5, the yellow, and at 3 minutes, the red card. And for table topics, you have 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, you'll see the green card. At 1.5, the yellow, and at 2 minutes, the red card. I forgot to mention that we have another speech for tonight, prepared speech, which would go on for 10 to 15 minutes. At 10 minutes, you'll see the green card. At 13 minutes, you'll see the yellow card. And at 15 minutes, you'll see the red card. And with this, I'd like to hand it back to you, Toastmaster Toastmaster Alpesh Gurjar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fatima. And I apologize for technical glitch with internet, which never happened for such a long time in BTMC meeting with me. But anyway, so our next role player is for our counter. To perform this role, we have a new member in our club, and he is a senior process engineer in a technical service department. And he joined BTMC just a few months back, and he became official member of BTMC. And he's consistently participating in BTMC meeting and taking up several roles, sometimes on spot. And one good thing, unique thing, which I like about him is that whenever I see him, I become happy because he's always smiling. His presence itself is sufficient to make us smile. And he has a good sense of humor. He's none other than a Toastmaster, Gopinath. Toastmaster Gopinath, would you please explain your role as a counter?
Thank you, Alpesh, for such a wonderful introduction. So, as an accounter, I'll be counting. I mean, if anybody is subjugated by the word so I want you all to, not repeat the word too many times. And any filler words for that matter, anything like filler words, any long pause, any repeated words, I'll be counting. It is to count all these things, all these words or any filler words, and inform you in the end of the meeting so that you can avoid in future and improve the flow of your speech. That is the main agenda behind this. So that is my role today. Thank you, Alpesh. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gopinath. One more role player we have today. Role. It's about listener. So to perform this role, we have a BTMC member who is always ready to take up any role. He has served as a sergeant at arms for a long time. And he never missed his duty. He never gave us surprise. The most reliable Toastmaster who always make his presence in the BTMC meeting. He speaks less, but his work reflects. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Hussein Khamis. Toastmaster Hussein Khamis, could you please explain your role as a listener?
Yes, thank you, Mr. of Ceremony. Fellow Toastmaster and honorable guest, good evening again. Being a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. As the listener, I will note interesting tidbits of the information from any of speakers. And as the question near by the end, I will ask the question near by the end of the meeting to see if everyone was paying attention. Back to you, Mr. of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hussein Khamis. So with that, before we move to our education session, something which I missed due to technical glitch, let me complete that, and then we'll move to our education session. So what does Diwali word means? You must have seen on internet. Diwali means a row of lighted lamps. On this day, or in this series of days, we used to lighten up our house, shops, public places, and we're decorating them with small oil lamp, nowadays with LEDs. And traditionally, old days, we used to put...
Voice.
Am I audible? Okay. So traditionally, in old days, we used to keep a lamp, which we call diyas. But these days, it's all LEDs and fancy lights. We used to do a lot of fireworks these days, and that continues for hours and hours. At some places, you will lose your sleep because it continues throughout the night. And the most important thing is that about food, these 5 days, we lost our memory about calories, carbohydrates, sugar, salt, everything we forget. We don't care. Yes, we continue and we eat whatever we like to eat. Next is like, what is a tradition? Apart from this, what we are doing that? This is the festival which has a lot of good message for individual to take away. And a lot of people change their lives, change their business, change their profession, and a lot of other things, start a new beginning. People visit their relatives, like how we are doing in Bahrain, like during Eid times. So they visit their families around, friends, celebrate them with food, and they visit temples, a lot of fireworks, and there are a lot of other pujas which we usually do. But again, it's a long story where every religion, they have different sets of pujas, what they are doing. So I cannot go in more detail about that. Now it's time for moving towards our educational session, which is a prepared speech. So our first speech will be delivered by a speaker who will be attending level 1, project 2 of these Toastmaster pathways. She is fairly new to this club and attended only a few meetings, but her presence was remarkable. She didn't miss to seize the available opportunities. She is an electrical engineer by profession, working in a BAPCO's PCED department, and she is very passionate about experimenting in the kitchen and baking in particular. She is hopeful that one day she would be able to open her own bakery. Well, I'll be waiting to buy cake from that bakery. She is none other than Toastmaster Hanin Al Mahrous. The title of her speech is What Happens at 180 Degree. And the purpose of her project is for the member to identify his or her This is a speech after a icebreaker speech, and the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. And without further delaying, please help me welcome Toastmaster Hanin. The speech title, What Happens at 180 Degree. Toastmaster Hanin, screen is yours.
Have you ever questioned whether what you're doing would actually lead to your pleasantness? At your lowest point, have you ever wondered what would be on the other side? Master of Ceremony, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, good evening. The question I want to leave with you today is what happens at 180? And what road do you take to achieve your pleasantness? My story with the number 180 began on April 20th of the year 2020. It was 2 a.m. when my eyes opened and I felt like my heart was hit by a truck. As I became conscious, the previous day's unseemingly events came rushing to my mind, such as rushing back home, hearing the painstaking news, selecting a black abaya, and completing surreal tasks. At the moment, everything was so rushed that I couldn't wrap my head around it. So that I couldn't wrap my head about. But in my 25-year-old body, emptiness evaded, and in my household, silence screamed. This scenario repeated itself 4 times as I lost 4 family members within a span of 5 months. In March 2021, the scenario repeated itself as I lost a very dear friend of mine. Throughout this period, I never missed work. I was very dedicated to studying my master's. I was responsible for the health of my parents, and I took on more duties at home. Externally, I looked like I had the situation under control, but internally, a whirlwind resided in both my head and my heart. Being a naturally active person, the whirlwind continued to accelerate as I latched myself onto new tasks. This latch's rope extends from my willingness to fulfill my duties at home and in my studies, take care of my parents, and bring ease to them. However, this latch never curled itself around a hook. Rather, it continued hanging. This whole experience had left me feeling disoriented and distorted and empty from the inside. However, I continued to be and to pretend to be unbroken. In the midst of the whirlwind, one spin took a different angle, which slowed down the whirlwind. In fact, it initiated an impulse which set the momentum for joy within me and created a positive ambience around me. This was the defining moment that set my journey in the kitchen. I started off by experimenting with different recipes and ingredients. I then moved on to studying the different techniques and the chemical interactions of the different ingredients under heat. I practiced and tested and was fearless of what the oven would be baking for me. In the process, this experience had brought ease to me and slowed down the whirlwind. It allowed me to pause, take a moment, and experience. At an oven temperature of 180 degrees, the sweet and savory smells that rushed out of the oven revived my family's soul. At an oven temperature of 180 degrees, the smell that filled the house tested my brother's patience as their mouths watered. At 180 degrees, I was able to create something tangible that can be shared and enjoyed, which gave me a sense of achievement. The sense of achievement spurs from a purpose, and the reason why I baked is so I could create the 180 degrees shift in my family's state of mind and my own. You may wonder why I chose baking in particular. The reason why I baked is the reason why I baked is because it requires patience. It teaches understanding, planning, and requires creativity. And so it's not just limited to that. It's the suspense and the anticipation that comes with creating something tangible and intangible, which contributes to the results enchanted flavors. And nevertheless, the 180, what is attributed with the number 180 is different from one person to another. To me, baking was not a distraction from reality. In fact, it was the reason for me to sweeten a bitter 180. And throughout the process, I was able to find pleasantness at 180 degrees Celsius. Pleasantness is the zest you get out of using your talents and beingness for a greater aim. And suddenly, a whirlwind slows down and becomes a blissful breeze. So my question to you now is, what latent power lies within your 180 degrees? Back to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hanin, for such an inspiring speech. That's a great message for everyone to take away. So, our next and second speaker is attending his level 4 project 1 of Toastmaster Pathways. He's one of the brilliant and modest Toastmaster of this club. He has demonstrated a good performance in Toastmaster International contest, and he's very keen to learn and grow. He's working in oil processing department of BAPCO, and he has been a member of BAPCO Toastmaster Club for about a year. But it seems that he's with us for not 1 year, many years. In this 1 year of time, he also has taken a role of Sergeant at Arms, and currently he is VPPR of this club. He's none other than our beloved Toastmaster Syed Mahmood. The purpose of his project is for the member to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when he presents outside the club. The evaluation is based on members' ability to address and diffuse challenges presented by the audience. Note that this is a role play assignment designed to help the speaker practicing managing difficult audience, and the speech duration will be 10 to 15 minutes. The speech title is Communication. To evaluate his speech, we have Toastmaster Abdul Reza Nauruz present here. Now, without further delaying, please help me welcome Toastmaster Syed Mahmood to deliver a speech on communication. Toastmaster Syed Mahmood, screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Good job. The key to any successful relationship, personal, professional, and even the relationship with yourself, is communication. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and most honorable guests, good evening to you all. Recently, a lot of buzz around the word communication. Everywhere you look, you will see billboards that advertise courses, workshops, TED Talks to enhance the ability of communication. How is communication a key to success? How it's going to help you further enhance your relationships, whether it's going to be family, friendship.
Red velvet right now here. Is it Toastmaster Hanin or Toastmaster Sheikh? Because I really feel hungry right now. Need to eat something.
I think we have
Khalid, you are a
bakers.
man after my own heart. Whenever you want to talk about food, you can find me later after this meeting. I will even invite you to sushi if you are up to it.
I'm for it.
I'm
Thank you so much.
Toastmaster said, Mahmoud, I'm sure you are a great cook, but I personally think that when it comes to cooks, the best is usually female cooks. And believe it or not, I tried cooking a lot, but I cannot really imitate the taste of my mother's cooking. It's amazing. I know you are a good cook or you may have great food, but I'm sure we'd love to have food from our female members instead.
Well, I am sure there's a psychological reasoning behind what every mother has the best food. We can all agree on that. And I'll make sure that when you taste my food, that you taste a mother's love. Not my mother, but someone's mother. The word communication is derived from the word community and is defined by the process in which information is relayed and exchanged to individuals in a common system. The definition of the word communication has a flaw all within itself. I personally believe that communication is not just about relaying information. It is about getting through to someone to reach a mutual understanding. There are 4 main communication styles that are pretty self-explanatory: direct, analytical, initiating, and supportive. Personally, I always struggle with communication.
Dinner.
Eh?
No, Dad, I'm on diet.
Okay, you want to walk the dogs?
No, you walk the dogs. I'll walk the place.
Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf. You have the cutest puppy. I've seen you walk them throughout the meetings before. If you need a dog sitter, you can give me a call after the meeting. If you are traveling or anything, just give me a call.
I'll communicate with you, Sayyid. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf. Personally, I have struggled with communication. Growing up as the youngest child of my household, I was used to adult talk from a very young age. I was smart, quick to my feet, and was able to understand various topics that were a lot above my age. But whenever I intended to speak out or share my opinion, it never seemed to be reaching to the other person. A lot of the time it would be considered rude and I would be shouted at, like, how dare you speak to an adult like that? One particular incident that makes me laugh to this day is back when I was in 5th grade. We had a very strict social studies teacher. She was unbeatable. You wouldn't dare speak a word during her class. Well, a few weeks into the semester, and she gave birth, and she was away. We had a substitute teacher fill in for her. That teacher was the most backboneless of any teacher that you want. For a whole week, he would just enter the class, sit down, let the class wreak havoc, and never teach a word. After a week of that happening, I pull up a chair and sit next to her and begin giving her advice on what she can have to regain control over the class. She can even subjugate them, in another word. Well, the response was not what I expected. She snapped at me, she began shouting, and she kicked me out of the class. Fortunately, it was lunch break after a class, so I didn't miss a thing. I actually was glad to be dismissed early. But coming along the week after, she is doing exactly what I told her. And she had the class under control. But I never received a word of apology or a word of gratitude. Now that I'm grown up, I found the flaw of my communication style. It was just too direct. Direct communication style is objective, clear, and to the point. But nowadays, we need to be more passive, sugarcoat our words, be politically correct, and we need to dance around the subject, hoping that the person on the other side would eventually get it. In a world where direct communication is frowned upon, I try to change my communication style into a more of an analytical style. Rather than being direct, I choose to speak less, listen more, and try to assess the person that I'm communicating with. A lot of people just get hurt easily and they take everything personally. And now with the rise of technology and how social media is integrated into every aspect of our life, you would think that would make us a better communicators, right? Unfortunately, it had the opposite effect. Face-to-face communication, and now after COVID, with all the online meetings and being apart, our communication styles have degraded a lot. Even making a simple conversation face-to-face has become a dreadful task. One aspect that direct communication had never failed me. Working in OPD as an area outside operator, I have to communicate directly with the control operator using a radio. Whenever he gives me an assignment or a task to be done in the unit, he has to be clear in his message and I have to be clear in my response. A simple misunderstanding or miscommunication, whether it's an equipment number, the natural of the task, even the timing of said task could lead to a catastrophic result. So that is one place where direct communication has never failed me. The point that I'm trying to make in this speech that communication is a seed. everyone voyages into it will never be the same for someone else. Unfortunately, different styles, where and when to use them, all gonna be learned through experience. I can tell you there are plenty of courses, plenty of books, but unless you practice it yourself, there is little to no gaining from these courses. Now I'm going to open the floor for questions and answer. If you have a question regarding communication, please throw it to me. Yes, Toastmaster Abdullah Nawaz.
Were the interruption intentional?
Yes. Okay. Mr. Timer, please continue ahead. Yes, the interruptions were intentional. They are a part of the project that I'm supposed to be handling them. And actually, your evaluation is on the basis of how these interruptions and how do I handle them, and not actually on our timer. Yeah, you can continue on. No need to pause the time. Yeah, you are actually evaluating how I handled the interruption, not actually the content of the speech. Although my speech is very good, if I have to say so. Anyway.
How do you think you handled the interruptions?
BTM Khalid, I'll have the evaluator answer that question for me. It will all come back again at the GE part of the meeting.
BTM Khalid, I believe we should interrupt him only once. You interrupted him already 2 times. Dr. Reyes, he interrupted him 1 time. Guys, we should keep it no, once only.
That was a question, not interruption.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Well, I have to send my thanks to Toastmaster Najaf. It's apparently that you read actually the evaluation manual, so you have my thanks that you only have to interrupt me once during that speech. Anyway, since we don't have any further question and the green light is upon us, yes, it's not simple or as guaranteed that your communication style will be effective to whom you are communicating with, but I do believe that practice makes perfect, and you will have an impact to your life and to the life of others when you interact with them. Thank you. Back to you, Master Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sayed, for such a lively speech who kept us engaged, and I think who surprised many of us. In fact, I got surprised in the beginning. I was about to tell Toastmaster Khalid personal message that what's going on. Anyways, that was a real speech. That's what we feel. And congratulations for delivering such a good speech. So with that, we are done with our education session with 2 speeches. And before we move to our very much awaited exciting session of table topic, in between, we will hear some good message from Area 14 Director, who is none other than Toastmaster Abdul Hadi Attar. Toastmaster Abdul Hadi, screen is yours, and we are waiting to hear some words of wisdom from you. Toastmaster Abdul Hadi, screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guests. Good evening. Mr. President, Babu Toastmaster XCOM members and respected guests, a very good evening to all of you. Today, I will address you as an area director, and this is part of the area visit that I usually do for the clubs, and it is a privilege for me to give the report for my home club. As if I want to evaluate my club, it was a great first impression for any member visit our club. So as an area director, I was amazed by the first 15 minutes of the Majlis, and the guests were also welcomed with great hospitality. And regarding the agenda, the speaker, role player, and the XCOM did a wonderful job in conducting the meeting in very professional manner. I found a very good, healthy communication between the members and the guests and between everybody. The theme of the meeting was very good, creative, and reflected the mood of the club in general. All meeting rules were filled in promptly, and there were 2 prepared speeches, and now we will have table topic session and followed by a general evaluation. And in all, there is a good communication exists in this wonderful club. Now I'll talk about the membership strength. The membership strength is good. Now I think it is 29, and the club managed to add 3 members. And by the end, and by adding another one member, that we will get 1 more point. Now, regarding the club is very good in regard to the meeting educational goal and of it is and meeting their success plan. Till now, we have the club earned 4 DCB points out of 10, or you could say 4.5. And the first one was earned because the 2 finished level 2, and 1 for the DTM, and 1 more also for completing level 5. And because the club also attended, they have submitted the officer list and attended the training, they have also earned 1 point. Now regarding the half point that they received, because the officer attended the first officer training. By attending the second one, they will earn the second half, and you will be 5 points. Now regarding the workshop that the club do, the club has successfully conducted Speechcraft and YLP, and they are also planning to do more workshops. With regard to club contest, please ensure that you complete everything as a plan by first week of December 2021, and get ready to compete in the area contest on 7th January 2021 of 22. Dear members, I urge you all to please join your hand together and to acknowledge and appreciate and thank the entire team for their efforts. Please clap for them and open the mic. Thank you. On this stage, I hand back the control to the MC of the night, and thanks for granting me this opportunity to give my report. Back to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Hadi. We always love to hear you. So now let's move to the next session of our meeting, a table topic. Before I hand over to our table topic master, Toastmaster Ahmed Yatim, I would like to say all the best to the potential speaker in this meeting. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ahmed Yatim, who will take us through this exciting journey of table topic. Toastmaster Ahmed, the screen is yours. You can start.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alpesh. Let me just bring on the PPT I have prepared. I hope you can all see it in full screen. Is that so? Can I get a thumbs up from everyone? Perfect. So thank you all for your lovely prepared speeches. And good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and well-esteemed guests. We're all gathered here today under a very special meeting celebrating the festival of Diwali, a very festive and prosperous celebration. To me personally, I didn't have much information about it, so I took it on myself to end up learning more about this festival. And something I got to learn was that Diwali celebrates, one of the things it celebrates is the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance, which makes it a very honorable celebration. And something I got to see every time I saw these sentences getting repeated throughout the websites I was searching, something I got to see from the first glance of it, that these are two conflicting and two contradicting topics, and which get talked about a lot. And we have a lot of these contradicting topics throughout our lives, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, selecting a place to go eat, and so on. And in my opinion, the best way to get a solution or to decide on which of the conflicting topics are best is over a well-organized debate. Debates happen all the time, as I mentioned. Even they can also happen through prepared speeches when debating which is a better cook, whether it's a male or a female. However, today we're going to be going through lots of the important and intense topics that people talk about all throughout the world. And I would like for this table topics section to get 2 volunteers in order to debate exciting topics. So who would like to take part? It would be great. Yes, we have Toastmaster Mahmoud Hamad. Thank you very much. Who would like to be our second volunteer? Yeah. Yes, Toastmaster Muhammad. Thank you very much for volunteering. And with that being said, we'll move to our first topic, being Apple versus Android. A topic of the ages. I will allow, being that Mahmoud selected first, I will give him Apple, and Muhammad, Toastmaster Muhammad, you can end up arguing towards Android. If I'm not mistaken, we have Toastmaster Fatma keeping on time, where you each will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak for your side of the argument. So we will begin with you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. Whenever you're ready, you may begin.
Hello, good evening, everyone. A phone is a device that you use daily. No matter what you're up to, a phone can do it. Phones now, they have a lot of computational power. They can substitute laptops and PCs for most of the daily jobs that we do. If you come to a secure phone that you can rely on, that has a very smooth interface, that can be easy to use, and not a hassle to teach for someone who's older. Apple comes into the picture. It's a company that looks after security as a main selling point. It has a camera system that outbeats any other phone with cutting-edge technology, camera mechanisms. The software is tuned to be fine, to be smooth, to just give you the best user experience that you can ever get on a phone. Apple looks so much into the development of its software, so it gives you a lot of apps that are looked into their coding so that your privacy is never breached. You can always count on Apple for having a solution or an app that can give you what you might need to do on a computer. For example, there are lots of photo editing softwares that can replace heavy tools such as Photoshop and Illustrator. Moreover, Apple has been the only company that has crossed the 1 trillion shares, $1 trillion in shares, which shows that this company has a lot of reputation and people can trust this company. If you trust a company, trust Apple. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mahmoud. And as a biased table topics master, I agree with everything you say. So Toastmaster Muhammad, how would you like to respond to what Toastmaster Mahmoud had to say?
Thank you, Table
Whenever
Topics
you're ready.
Master. You are not the best debate controller as you are already biased. Let me tell you one thing. I have an iPhone. 3 years ago, I decided to change from a Samsung mobile phone into an iPhone. And let me tell you something. This was one of the biggest mistakes that I have taken in the last 5 years. Why would you go and buy a mobile phone that has 3 cameras, but every time you try to go and plug in this mobile phone into your laptop, you need a special connection. You need a special wire. If you go outside, you try to connect your mobile phone into a laptop, you need your tools with you. Your special wire should be there with you. Apple has made it almost impossible to find the plugins needed, whether it's a charger, whether it's a USB connection. Right now, it doesn't connect with an USB. It doesn't come even with a USB. We always connect hard drives to our laptops or computers through USBs. We charge most of all the other companies through USBs. But when it comes to Apple, it's a mobile phone that is designed for only small group of people. Another thing that I'd like to mention about why Samsung is much better is the fact that it's completely compatible with Google applications. And right now, who doesn't use Google? Every time you need to search something, you go through Google. I know a lot of friends of mine that I know maybe 10 years ago, they still have most of the pictures taken from their mobile phones in their Google clouds. But when it comes to iPhone, it's completely different. The cloud capacity is much smaller, and do not go with iPhone. Samsung is much better. Open source, easy for you to handle all applications. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Muhammad. I'm finding myself doubting myself in everything that I believed in. And however, when it comes to debating, there's usually a back and forth. So people would end up saying their 4 point, the other person would say what they think against, and it keeps on happening till they reach a conclusion. However, being with time constraints, we will be deciding who had the better debate or the most convincing debate by the end when it comes to awards, giving out the awards. We have as well another topic that can be discussed if we have the time to, if we have 2 volunteers that are eager to participate, that would be great. Any volunteers, any guests? Yes, Toastmaster Ahmed, you will actually enjoy this topic that's coming up. Do we have any other Toastmaster?
If the topic is not good, Toastmaster Ahmed, your HCM is in my hand. Your rating is in my hand, huh? Just be careful. Allah.
I promise you, it will be. And thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad, for taking part in this lovely debate. Being that the debate that we're going to be discussing is something Toastmaster Ahmed Dajjaf brought up, which is cats versus dogs. Who makes the better pet? Being that Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf is a big advocate towards dog, Jober can take on defending cats as pets. So we'll start with you, Toastmaster Mohammed. Why do cats make better pets than dogs? The floor is yours. You can start whenever you feel ready.
Well, I believe I'll start. Am I the one? Yeah. All right. Good.
Yes.
Ladies and gents, honorable guests, good evening. Dogs are the best companion for people. Their life is dedicated to make their owner happy. I don't see this in cats. So, Muhammad, don't try to convince us in cats. Dogs are way better. There are some drawbacks in dogs which people should take care of. Not every dog is a friendly dog. There are some certain breeds where you should be very careful of. They are a bit kind of aggressive towards human being, towards kids. And at every certain age of the dog himself or herself, you know, they kind of have different attitudes. So you being as a dog owner or you as preferring dog over cat, you should, you know, be fully aware of this. The expenses of keeping dogs are a bit higher. You know, you will be spending more your money on them. And the enjoyment, the amount of joy they will bring into your life is really, really something unbelievable. Everybody enjoy dogs in the family. It's, not just like cats. And dogs, you can take them everywhere with you. You can put the leash on them. You can walk them everywhere. Where the cat, you cannot take anywhere, just keeping her inside the house as a house pet. That's all. The cats are a bit smelly. Dogs are always fresh. They smell good. And dogs are less maintenance. That's all. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ahmed, for your convincing speech. I must say again, very biased, being that I have a pet dog with me. So let's see how another Toastmaster Mohammed will be able to make us think otherwise, with cats being better pets than dogs. The floor is yours, Toastmaster Mohammed Jova. You can start whenever you're ready.
So this is my first debate and I'm extremely excited to take part of it. I don't own a pet myself, yet my friend actually owns a cat, and whenever we go to his place, the cat is a bit moody. And you know what? We actually like it. I like a pet that would actually add to the mood rather than just, you know, act friendly all the time. I believe dogs are overrated. They're everywhere. Nevertheless, cats, although they're familiar, I mean, a cat in Bahrain is actually the same breed in Japan. So that familiarity, although a bit cozy, I would say, isn't the same familiarity as a dog. So as you said before, as Ahmed said, dogs come in different breeds, different sizes. Some of them are unfriendly. Yet I believe cats are more of the same. Sometimes, as I said, they're a bit moody, but they add to the situation. Actually, I like cats myself, although, and the reason is why I like cats is that in every movie, you could actually see the interesting character in the movie, more of a cat person. So it's more of an impression of what you would actually get out of a movie. Unlike dog people in movies are a bit lame, in my opinion. So it's more of a cultural issue. And I believe these 2 points settle the debate. Thank you.
They scratch a lot. Come on, come on. What is they smell? You know, the house is smelly and come on.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mohammed. Yet again, another convincing debate.
And their fur is
response.
everywhere, Mohammed. Their fur is everywhere in the house. So, you know, you get allergy to them. And come on. Thank you, Toastmaster Wali. Thank you for your support.
I think this is the topic that will keep Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf talking and talking and talking. Please.
I am very happy that it's a topic that hits well to his heart, hoping that it hits well with my HCM. And
go well.
Thank you very much. And with that being said, as we've seen here today, debates can happen on any different types of topics. And without us knowing about it, we constantly get into debates. So building on our debating skills and convincing skills would help us a lot in lots of day-to-day activities. And thank you very much. Back to MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed, for
tonight being the night of intervention, people are just interrupting others. I will do it without permission. Toastmaster Ahmed Yatim, I'm impressed with the way you did your table topics tonight. Amazing, really amazing. I really enjoyed it. Great.
Thank you very much.
It's a night that people can talk. Sorry.
Well done, Toastmaster Ahmed. So we are on time. Now let's move to the next session, which is a business session, and which will be conducted by Toastmaster Muhammad Ali. Toastmaster Muhammad Ali, floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Al-Bashmurjar. As our secretary is not attending today, let me assure you first that we do have quorum. And let me share with you the minutes of our last meeting. The last meeting was held virtually, meeting number 348, Wednesday, 27th of October. The theme of that night was surprise, and each role was selected randomly by a wheel. Shake moment was delivered by Toastmaster Hussein Khamis about cycling safety. The grammarian was Toastmaster Taki Abdullah with the word preemptive. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Fatma Hussein. The timer was a guest, Toastmaster Hazel. The accounter was Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf. The listener was Toastmaster Muhammad Ali Yusuf. Attendance was 50% of our members and 9 guests. There were 6 speakers: Toastmaster Gobinath, DTM Walid, DTM Khalid delivering his DTM project, Toastmaster Hanin Al-Mahrous, her icebreaker, Toastmaster Albish, Toastmaster Hanadi. Table topics, the commentators were DTM Khalid Abdullah, Toastmaster Gobinath, and the business session was held by Toastmaster Muhammad Ali and DTM Khalid Abdullah. The contest dates were announced. Induction of Toastmaster Mahmoud Hamad happened at that meeting. Other than that, the G was Toastmaster Hanin Al-Mahrous. Her feedback was the meeting well structured, good transition between roles, good time management, and the awards for best speaker went to Toastmaster Hanin with an icebreaker ribbon, and the best table topic was DTM Khalid Abdullah. The meeting was adjourned at 9:55. Can someone raise a motion to adopt the agenda? Yes, Toastmaster Hussein Khani. Yeah, Toastmaster Abdullah Hijazi is raising the motion. We have Toastmaster Hussein Khamis and Toastmaster Irfan Nata who seconded. Thank you. Moving to the officers' reports, we start with our immediate past president, Toastmaster Fatma Hussein.
Thank you very much,
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. President, Toastmaster Mohammed. I do not have anything to report, but I'd like to highlight that the minutes of meeting look really nice, very graphic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fatma Hussein. Yes, unfortunately, Toastmaster Taqi is not there with us. He's always creative. Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Habib.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammed. Nothing to report.
Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf, our club treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. President. All good. I was having some difficulty in, getting online in Central Club. Hopefully, we'll resolve it soon. And on 14th of December, I'll go on vacation. I need a couple of signatures on one of the nice checks, please. That's all. Back to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf. Sure. I need some check as well right now. Nevertheless, moving to the next officer, as secretary is not attending, just another comment on the minutes of meeting. I wanted to do it, and thank you, Toastmaster Fatma Hussein, for your compliment. Thanks to Toastmaster Taqi for sharing the minutes of meeting in this way. Moving to VPPR, Toastmaster Said Mahmoud, anything to report?
Thank you so much, Mr. President. As the competition is drawing near, we have ordered the trophies. I don't have them ready yet, but I'm sure they will be worthwhile. So may the best speaker wins. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Said Mahmoud.
Guys, you will not get any money unless I'm back from my vacation, which will be on 18th of January. So you'll get money at that time, if some money left in the account. Thanks.
2 months?
1 month and a week. لا تقولها قدام حسن عاشور موجود ويانا يا ابو علي. بكنسل عليه حسن عاشور.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf. Actually, we need to write a check for Toastmaster Said Mahmoud. Nevertheless, thank you, VPPR, Toastmaster Said Mahmoud, for ordering the trophies and for taking ownership to basically distribute them to the winners. Our VPPR, DTM Khalid Abdullah, anything to report? VPM, DTM Khalid Abdullah, our Vice President membership, DTM Khalid Abdullah.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Yes, of course, I have a very important thing to report. But before I go to that, very important. Okay, I hope that the counter is not counting this as us or repeated words. I have one question. We send, or not myself, the president sent a meeting request, a meeting invite to everyone. Is there any issue to just say accept or reject? Accept, reject? No? Thank you. So please.
You only need one finger, not even 5 of them, just one finger.
Exactly, just one click. Accept, reject, or even tentative. Just respond. Because when I go now to the sheet itself, I can always see none. And I can see a few faces who attended today, which I'm really grateful for you. But please let us know in advance so at least we can make our arrangements. So this is the first thing. Now let me move on to the very important segment of my report, which is not introducing, but reintroducing a dear member to our club, who is Toastmaster Sheikh Ahmed. As a Vice President of membership today, I have the honor to re-induct Toastmaster Sheikh to our club. And as per the protocol, before I move on, if there is any comment on this induction, please send me your response to the in the chat box, please. If there is any comment on the induction, going once, twice, velvet cake, yeah, that's okay, that comes with it. Thrice. Thank you so much. Let me move on. Let me move on right now to the induction script. Fellow Toastmasters, it is now our duty and privilege to induct or re-induct Toastmaster Sheikh Ahmed back to the Babco Toastmasters Club family. This is an important occasion, both for her and for our club. She has come, because they have plural, these individuals have come. No, she has come to Toastmasters seeking to improve her communication and leadership. And we now have an opportunity to help her learn, grow, and achieve. I will now call on Toastmaster Sheikh forward and ask her to join me to the virtual lecture. Please withhold your applause until the ceremony is completed. Toastmaster Sheikh, you are joining a worldwide organization that has helped more than 4 million people learn to communicate more effectively. As members of the Babco Toastmasters Club, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. You will become part of an outstanding, and I repeat that, an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoying. Mr. Vice President of Education, Toastmaster Mahmoud, who already gave me the name. And let me just move on to the name and calling the name. The mentor of Toastmaster Sheikh Ahmed, who accepted to be the mentor, is Toastmaster Arfan Natar. And let me repeat that question. Toastmaster Arfan Natar, would you accept to mentor Toastmaster Sheikh Ahmed?
Do I have a choice?
No, but I have to say I will.
I will, I would, I shall, I did.
Thank you so much.
With great honor. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Toastmaster Arfan. Okay, now your part, Toastmaster Sheikh. So I'll read the paragraph, and at the end, either you or your daughter just need to say, I will. Okay. Membership in this club and in Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards, yet it also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things that we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in a spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently toward your own self-development, evaluate others' speeches in a spirit of support and sharing, assist the club in reaching its goal, remain positive, and keep a smile on your face. Can I see your smile on your face? Yes, please keep this throughout your stay in Toastmasters. We ask you, Toastmaster Sheikh, to dedicate yourself to personal growth, to share this great gift with your fellow members, and help keep the Toastmasters Club strong and dynamic. Please face your members, which I can see you're already facing, and affirm your membership by saying I will toward the end of the paragraph. Toastmaster Sheikh, in the presence of my fellow members of the Babco Toastmasters Club, makes this firm obligation to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for each assignment, to apply myself to the projects outlined in Toastmasters education program, to participate actively in club activities, to evaluate others in positive, constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationships with my fellow members, and to bring other new members into the club so they can also gain the benefit of Toastmasters. I hear you saying, I will.
I will. Thank you, Toastmaster Khalid.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sheikh, for joining back.
Thank
Would
you.
all club members please stand and repeat your club pledge to Toastmaster? Can I have everyone, whoever can stand, whoever dressed well to stand, please? Okay, I can imagine those who are still sitting. Okay, fine. Let me move on. I will say the statement or the paragraph, and please just say "we will" toward the end of the paragraph. So there it goes. We, the members of Babco Toastmasters Club, pledge to support you, Toastmaster Sheikha, yes, you, in your request for self-development to provide you with positive, helpful evaluations, to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere, to give you opportunities to help others, and make your Toastmasters membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience. Members of Babco Toastmasters Club, may I hear we will?
We will.
We will. Rock you.
We will.
Rock you.
لا لا ما راح عني we will.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Sheikha, welcome back home. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
choosing
much.
to be back with the family of Babco Toastmasters Club. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khalid, and thank you everyone for having me back. It's such a pleasure to be back to this amazing club and looking forward for the experience.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sheikha, and of course Toastmaster to be in a few years from now. And back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, our VPM, BTM Khalid Abdullah, and welcome to Toastmaster Sheikha. Welcome back to the club. Moving to the next officer report, our VP had to leave due to family commitment, but I just had a quick message from him to deliver. Contest. Our VP is currently filling the roles of contestants and other role takers and is eager to get responses from the maximum percentage of our members. So please, if you are available, and I think we shall keep ourselves available the next 2 or 3 meetings in which we will be holding the contest and the National Day celebration, please respond back to our VPE. As for my president report, I just would like to announce that our ExCom attended the second COAT Club Officers Training session, which was held last Friday. And this basically makes us, we will be having our next DCP point once the portal is updated, and this will make us, as reported today by our area director, we will be having 6 DCP points. Thank you to all the members for this achievement of the club. And right now we are missing few DCP points that are related to membership and education. With this, I conclude my president report, and now it's time to hear from the floor any business. Toastmaster Arfan Natiq raised his hand first. So Toastmaster Arfan Natiq, floor is yours.
I was waiting for you to call on the immediate past president, but then I raised my hand. If you would allow me, or after the immediate past president, I don't mind.
Well, I haven't seen her. If she has raised her hand before you, then of course, Toastmaster Fatma Hussein.
course, I raised my invisible hand, which you magically showed or seen. No, all is good from my side. I did not raise my hand. The floor is yours, Toastmaster Arfan.
Thank you. I just want to share a thought I had just now, and that I thank Toastmaster Sheikha for that. We all know Toastmaster Sheikha, and she was with us for years. And because of that little angel in her arms, she had to disappear for a number of years. But her passion and her love for this club brought her back. What I want to say, similar to Toastmaster Sheikha, there are others in the company that we know them well. And we can go to them. Perhaps for some reason, they had to quit and be away. Showing them that we still care and we still want them back, perhaps it would make a difference to them. They were very strong assets to the club, and they had a great part in the development of the club, and were very active, and some of them were even known to our management. So my plea is that perhaps the ExCom, with the assistance of some of the elder members of this club, would approach these ex-members, and perhaps we can make them feel that they are still wanted and they are still important to this club. And again, I would thank Toastmaster Sheikha for considering coming back, and she did it. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arfan, for your words. Yes, we do understand, and we do actually want our members who either decided to leave our club, or basically not being able to attend our meetings back with us in BTMC family. And we do actually, we have the VPM, DTM Khalid Abdullah, who always keep in touch. I'm sure he's on it. So, and I do understand and appreciate your initiative to be part of it as well, Toastmaster Arfan Natiq, as you are one of the club senior members, Toastmaster Arfan. Yes, DTM Khalid, you raised your hand before. Any other business?
Yes, I just finished my typing. Yeah, okay, thank you so much, Mr. President. I have just one announcement. We will be having, okay, I'm talking about from the district end. We will be having leadership outside the club workshop that would be conducted on 14th of November. So I call on each and every member of the club to attend. The intention behind this workshop is it's an awareness session. So it would be, we'd be talking about the role of the area director, role of the division director, and so on, just for everyone to have, especially for the newcomers, and for those also senior member who wishes to take the next role outside the club. And of course, our area director is in here, DTM Abdul Hadi Al-Attar, who is also another person who would be looking forward to have his successor. So we need to have, each and every one of us need to have his or her successor. So this is something very important. So I call on each and every member of Babco Toastmasters Club to come out of the club walls and join us in the workshop. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, DTM Khalid Abdullah. I think this is an invitation for all of our members by one of the district main basically directors, who I think he's forming the team for next district officers. Anyhow, with this, if there are no other no other points to be raised in the business session, I will call the business session adjourned, and I go back to the Master of Ceremonies to continue our meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster Albish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammed. One thing I would like to highlight before I move on, I like the way you presented the minutes of meeting. It was very impressive. And we used to hear that in every meeting, and somebody is reading in brief through the previous minutes of meeting. But today's representation was remarkable. I hope we'll follow it in coming time, and that will keep us engaged when we see the numbers and that are presented in a very fascinating way of colorful slides. That is consistent with this today's theme, which is Festival of Colors and Festival of Lights. So yeah, we all are here with some purpose. Each and every activity of Toastmaster Club has a purpose. Today's theme is Diwali. Yes, briefly now you are aware of what is Diwali. For history, why we are celebrating it, maybe you can Google it and you can read it more, because we don't have time to elaborate more on that. However, it is very crucial that whatever speech or whatever message which we are trying to convey, it should be summarized at the end of meeting, and we should have some takeaway from meeting. So with today's theme, Diwali, let me just summarize. So what are the values of Diwali? It has religious significance. It is celebrated by number of religion in India, named Hindus, Jain, Sikhs, Buddhists. Although there are different people from different background, and everyone has different historical events and stories to celebrate this event, but nonetheless, the festival represents the same symbolic victory of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, and good over evil. So what lessons we learn from this festival? From old days, whatever festivals, whatever old traditions we have in place, if you go in detail, there are scientific reasons, scientific basis for that. Yes, we are too busy in celebrating our festivals with today's lifestyle, but yes, we should not forget to think about why we are doing the things and what are the message out of this festival. So the tradition of Diwali views wealth and riches provide us an opportunity to do good things towards the betterment of society. Most importantly, Diwali signifies, as we said earlier, as good can triumph over evil, light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, and we must have patience no matter how long the wait is. Time changes and things will be favorable. Nothing is constant in this world. In few lines, the key message from this auspicious festival of light is that omit darkness to bring light in your lives. Always remain positive regardless of circumstances around you. Things will change. Keep that in mind. Always choose a path of righteousness. Keep patience and share your happiness with others. We used to say Eid Mubarak during Eid days here. Next time, if it is time for Diwali, you can say someone, it's just Happy Diwali. And yes, if you want to have varieties of sweets, varieties of snacks, don't miss to visit any of your Indian friends around, and you'll be amazed and you'll be taking a lot of good memories out of that. So next October or November, you can mark your diaries and calendar and make sure that you'll not miss this opportunity. With this now, let's move to our next session called evaluation, general evaluation session. So yes, again in Toastmaster, yeah, it is very crucial to get feedback, to know what we did good and what are the areas of improvement. So for today's meeting, we have our general evaluator, Toastmaster Abdullah Hijazi. She will take us through a journey about how we ran the show. Toastmaster Abdullah Hijazi, screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Albus, for a wonderful introduction and a wonderful theme. Dear, for the sake of the guests, the role of the general evaluator is to evaluate the meeting overall and to point what has been done, what is good and what is need to be improved. To help me with that, I have role takers, and let us start with the timer and the time of the prepared speeches and the time of the topic. Toastmaster Fatma, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, our general evaluator. So the timing for the speeches is as follows. Toastmaster Haneen, she spoke for 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Toastmaster Sayyid Mahmoud, he spoke for 10 minutes and 48 seconds, both qualify. As for the table topic, Toastmaster Hamad spoke for 2 minutes and 22 seconds, and Toastmaster Muhammad Ali Yusuf spoke for the same time, 2 minutes and 22 seconds. As for Toastmaster Ahmed Najaf, he spoke for 1 minute and 59 seconds. And Toastmaster Tabi Muhammad Jaber spoke for 1 minute and 33 seconds. All qualify. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fatma, for the report. Let me start with the evaluators. And today we have 2 evaluators who will evaluate our speakers, Toastmaster Haneen and Toastmaster Said. And let me start with the Hassan Ashur, Toastmaster Hassan Ashur, who will evaluate Toastmaster Haneen. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abdullah. Thank you very much. Fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, good evening. It's my pleasure tonight to evaluate Toastmaster Haneen. Toastmaster Haneen is relatively new to Baku Toastmaster Club, but your speech doesn't say so. You delivered a fantastic speech with high confidence. Please give her a big round of applause. We all pass through tough moments in our lives, and especially when it comes to losing beloved ones. And it's our call to change that state and shift 180 degrees from sadness to pleasantness. In this speech, you shared your successful experience when you selected the kitchen and the recipes to change the family state of mind with patience and creativity. Although you made everybody hungry, but the message was clearly delivered and understood. Throughout your speech, I noticed that you asked questions, and let me tell you that this is very advanced stage of techniques which is normally used to grab the attention of your audience. So it was excellently used. Thank you for this. I also noticed that you paid attention to your audience, and you knew your audience very well. And I can see this from the terminologies being used. You used latent power. Latent power is very suitable terminology when you talk in Baku Toastmaster Club, because majority of your audience are engineers. I noticed also your body language. And I saw that majority of your hand movements were matching with your words. Just area for improvement, Toastmaster Haneen, for future benefit. Try to rehearse more. There is no harm to knock the door of your mentor and to do the rehearsing. There is no harm to gather your friends, your family members, and do the rehearsing. This will help you a lot and will give you more confidence when it comes to delivery of your speech. Last but not least, I noticed that the time we talk is 6 minutes, 10 seconds. Try next time to improve this. Make it at least 6 minutes, 45, 50 seconds. Still you have time and you need to pay more attention to the time. Toastmaster Haneen, today you have delivered a very successful speech and I wish you all the best in your future projects. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Abdullah. Thank you. You are muted, Toastmaster Abdullah. Toastmaster Abdullah Hijazi, you are muted.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan, for this wonderful evaluation. And let us go to Toastmaster, the second evaluator, Toastmaster Abdullah Nairuz, who will evaluate the second speech, the speech delivered by Toastmaster Sayed. Toastmaster Abdullah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and most honorable guests. Good evening. Yet another wonderful, sweet speech by not Sayyid Mahmoud. I like the way he presents and he creates things out of the blue. He's very creative in putting even his name on the screen. I don't know whether you're hearing me, Sayyid Mahmoud, or not, but you will definitely see the big round of applause that I will be asking the audience to give you. For being creative, what I particularly like about the normal meetings is the possibility where we bring probes, i.e. something that resembles or give a visual effect for the speech that we are using. Some people would bring a cast and saying that they had an injury, or going cyber, Sayed used the background, and the moment you see the background and you pin his screen, you directly know that he's going to talk about some sort of communication. Now, choosing the communication was a subject that he wanted to deliver something else. Now, communication is a suitcase word. It needs to be explained what do you mean exactly by the communication. He gave us 4 examples of the types of communication that a person should use, like the initiating, the direct, and supporting, and the analytical. But his intention was not really the information that he was giving us. I got confused in the middle of the speech about senior Toastmasters interrupting and prepare the speech. That does not happen usually. So a shortcome from my side, I should have been more prepared to knowing what the outcome is. But I have some kind of room for improvement on that part, i.e. I was confused, and the challenge of you presenting a speech where people are confused is the possibility of you losing them. So there are certain types of speech interruptions that are okay. Sometimes I'm talking and there is an interruption that supports what I'm saying. So you can simply address that by thank you, X person, and you continue. There are certain interruptions that are contradicting what we are saying, like he's saying, or the person who's interrupting you is saying you're saying something wrong. These interruptions you put aside, or you address them later on, or you to bypass them or to control them, you keep them by saying, for instance, we'll come back to that. And the last type of interruption that should have been addressed to is the miscellaneous interruption, i.e. my mic goes off, or someone says totally something is unrelated to my speech. So I have to find ways to use that interruption in my flow. With that, I would really like more creative speech from you, and I hand over to the GE, Abdullah Hijazi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdullah Nairoz. I don't know when will you start the polls after the timer report. But let me get back to the timer to give the report for how at the time for the evaluator.
Thank you very much, our general evaluator. I just realized why the Toastmaster Muhammad had the red background when I was doing the timing and changing the colors, then to realize that my video was not on. So I do apologize for the speakers who missed my timing. With that being said, so Toastmaster Hassan Ashur spoke for 4 minutes and 7 seconds, and I do believe that my camera was not on at that time. And Toastmaster Abdullah Nairoz spoke for 3 minutes and 35 seconds, and my timer was not on. So it's a mistake on my behalf. But we can say that both speakers qualify for this technical mistake.
أعطيهم تخفيض.
No excuses. I saw the red somewhere, and I was really sure. I think I took too long, so both should be disqualified. These are senior people.
Actually, if there is a technical problem, you're entitled for 30 seconds more. So within this rule, then you are qualified. Sorry to tell you, but you are qualified.
Thank you for the wasta. Okay.
Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fatma. And now you can start the poll, or when it will be introduced.
Yes, Toastmaster Abdullah, the poll is ready. It will be launched.
Shouldn't the speaker be first? I think the best speech. Like the timer comes in and tells us what was the prepared speech timing, then
That was done.
That was already done. The prepared speech table topics already done.
كل مرة نسوي شغلة جديدة يا دكتور ريس، كل مرة شغلة جديدة ترى ما نمشي على نفس الستاندرد.
أخوي أحمد عقب الميتنج عندي حكي وياك لا تختفي.
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله إن شاء الله.
And now let us start with the other reports. For the first report will be the counter, and the counter. Still sorry, the pause is not completed.
Bob, عندنا Toastmaster in the making, very strong one, coming soon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdullah Hijazi. I was the counter. Lulwa said that 3 times. Use that. Yeah, I give you a time for voting first. I mean, those who finish, you finish. Only then you may be in a motion. Yeah. Can I go ahead, panel? Okay.
You can go ahead. Let Toastmaster go.
Oh. Thank you. Lulwa is 3 hours. our President Muhammad Ali Yusuf used several repetitions. It's like that. Then Alpesh used something around 10 as, and a few repetitions were there, and 3 U's were there. Syed Ahmad, he used some repetitions. Hanin also had some repetitions. It was very difficult to count the number of very used by our Khalid Abdullah. And Mahmoud Hamoud, he used 5 A's and 3 repetitions. And Hassan Ali Ashur used 1 A. Nauruz also used some repetitive words like interruptions several times. And Fatima used 2 A's. Thank you. And back to you, Mr. Hijazi.
Thank you, Accountant Toastmaster Copy. And let's go to the listener. And the listener of our meeting is Toastmaster Hussein Khamis. Hussein Khamis, please
Yes.
enlighten us with your report. With
Yes.
your.
Are you ready? Are
We
you
are
ready?
always ready.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
Who say every mother has a great food? Every mother has a great food.
Toastmaster Sayyid Mahmoud.
And who else?
Toastmaster Muhammad.
Yes. And who is the backbone for Toastmaster Sayyid
Toastmaster
Mahmoud?
Arfan. No.
The backbone for Toastmaster Sayyid Mahmoud. In his speech, he said there is a backbone for.
I was chatting, I was not listening.
It was not Sayyid Mahmoud.
He said there is a backbone for.
Toastmaster said we can skip over that question. It was a totally different topic.
Okay. Who say very important, and what that?
BTM Khalid. BTM Khalid.
Easy.
What that?
What that? I don't remember it was me.
Somebody has to respond. Nobody is responding.
Yes. It is
Must
one
be
click only.
Toastmaster Gopi. Oh, 1 click only. Yes.
One
exactly.
click.
1
Yes.
click. Toastmaster Arfan.
We are here with some purpose. Who say that?
Toastmaster Alpes.
Yes, correct. Who's interesting to me? Package.
Toastmaster Hain is our designated baker.
Yes. And one more we can ask. What is the less maintenance animal? And who say?
Ahmed Najaf. Dog.
Yeah. Congratulations for all, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, dear listener. And the last report before I give my report is the grammarian.
Thank you, General Moderator.
Grammarian is Toastmaster.
خلاص تحتحكي هو بروحه.
Uday.
Uday Kumar. ما تتوهق روحك.
Thank you, General Moderator. The word of the day, subjugate, has been used widely. Even our prepared speech speakers have used twice. And overall English language was, good, and the grammatical usages were good. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Oli. And by this, we finish the report. And about my report, I will tell you what I liked, what needs to be improved in the second meeting. I liked, first we started the meeting on time, and I liked how all Toastmasters are willing to help each other as usual in our meeting. Keep it up and taking rules even if they are not asked to. For the and I like the check moment that was about the rain and how to protect yourself from the rain. It was even if very to the point. Usually there is a change of weather in Bahrain nowadays. Thank you, Toastmaster Abdurrahman Nairoj. And then comes the address of the by Toastmaster Muhammad about how we learn and improve every time we attend Toastmasters. I urge him to mention Rusty's medley in his speech because he is the founder of our Toastmasters, and we just celebrated last month. This is my small recommendation to him. Then comes the MC of the evening. The MC of the evening done a very marvelous job, Toastmaster Albus. He gave us some information that really I didn't know about Diwali, the festival of Diwali, and I liked the way he outlined what the structure of the meeting will be, so it will be known to all the audience and the guests. And then we started the speeches. The speeches by wow, what wonderful speeches, and what new ways to fantastic ways to do the speeches. And Bennett, a very fresh way, especially Toastmaster Hanin, welcome to the club. And because last meeting I didn't hear your marvelous speech, and what a very good speech. You looked like a professional, not a beginner. About the Sayyid speech, a very fresh and new way to introduce a speech, and how he handled the interruptions, and how he handled and he continued professionally with his speech. We felt in the speech and not although in interruptions, we didn't feel disattached. Then came the address of our area director. You are most welcomed every time in our meetings. Thank you for this warm words, and we welcome you every time to visit your home club. Your home club. What about the table topic? Toastmaster Ahmed was what a new way to introduce the table topic, a debate. Who thought that the table topic become a debate? And the selection of the topics and how you contacted or linked the theme of the night with the debate, it was a marvelous idea. Points of recommendation for the guests. Please give us some idea what is about your role, so the guests know what table topic is. But a very new way to do it. Thank you for that. Second thing about the business session. Wow, what a very professional business session, and I like the new way that and the new way that minutes of meeting introduced. It was a very new and fresh idea. Fresh idea. These are my comments, and I hope I didn't take a lot of time, and have a wonderful meeting. I put my recommendation for better meeting that and continue with the positive things. And back to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdullah Hijazi. So with this, we are dot on time, and now it's time to know the best performer of today's meeting, and our president Muhammad Ali will help me announcing winner for today's meeting table topic, evaluation speech, and speaker. So Muhammad Ali, please help me.
We start with evaluation. So let me share my screen. So the best evaluator for today voted by the audience was Toastmaster Ahmed Toastmaster Hassan Ashur.
Wasta.
The best table topics went The best table topics went for Toastmaster to be Mohammed Jabbar. Great debate, great performance. Toastmaster to be Mohammed. We look forward to see you again and to hear more of your great speeches. And for the best speaker for today, 2 meetings in a row, Toastmaster Haneen Al-Mahrous, best speaker. Congratulations, Toastmaster Haneen. Well done. Back to you, MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad Ali. So, yeah, as per our agenda, we need to hear from our president at 9:45 p.m. We are 2 minutes away from that. So with that, thanks to all attendees, role takers, volunteers, and guests. Thank you all. And it is a pleasure having new guests, new faces in a meeting. And we look forward to receive more and more guests and more members in this club. With this, I will hand over to Mr. President, Toastmaster Muhammad Ali. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Albish, Master of Ceremonies, for sailing the ship exactly as per the agenda on time. Now it's time for us to take a group photo. So I urge all the participants to switch on your camera, and our VPPR will ask you to say cheese. Say cheese.
Okay, can we have everyone?
Haris.
3, 2, 1, cheese. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, before we adjourn this meeting, it's now 9:45. I would like to hear from our guest tonight, Toastmaster to be Lulua and Toastmaster to be Muhammad Jaber. How did you find the meeting? And will you, or will we see you next meeting? Toastmaster to be Lulua.
Thank you very much. I really enjoy the meeting. I enjoy the.
We can't hear you. Your volume is too low. We would love to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Ahsan, ahsan.
Okay. So I really enjoy the process. I appreciate. You can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Clearly now, clearly.
And yeah, thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to do a real life meeting with you, a Toastmaster meeting with you. As Fatma Hussein told me that you used to hold it in Awali Club, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meet you all, guys. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster to be Lulua Zayani, for being with us and sticking the whole session from, I believe you joined before 7:15 even. That's really promising. Toastmaster to be Muhammad Jaber, our best table topic commentator. Wow.
The cat's lover. The cat's lover.
So thank you all. Yeah, thank you all. As we know, as engineers, we know that design is an iterative procedure. Feedback affects the actual result, and that's what I see here. I'm honored to learn from the masters themselves, and I'm looking forward for more and more meetings. It's more about self-improvement. It's about learning not only how to talk, but even how to think on some issues. And yeah, I'm very thrilled. Thank you.
Wow. Great feedback, great comment. We look forward to see you again, Toastmaster to be Muhammad Jaber. With this, I call meeting number 300. I can see some of us are really enthusiastic.
It's a night of interrupting everybody. So everybody's interrupt everybody.
This is a role usually you don't play, Toastmaster Arfan Nata. So thank you all. I wish you a good night, and I call meeting number 349 adjourned.
Well done. Mr. President, we have two. Okay, became one. Oh. We have two more guests.
I think, yeah, we have.
Mariam.